If you're interested in an apprenticeship or a traineeship, there are many people that can help. If you're at school, visit your vocational education training teacher to get the process started. There are also organisations out there that can help. The Australian Apprenticeship Support Network is a good starting place. They can link you to group training organisations who employ trainees or apprenticeships. You can find them easily by searching online. Of course, the best way of finding any type of work is either through the people that you know, by printing off your resume, dressing up for the job that you want. Hitting the streets and asking employers directly is the best way to go. There are over 500 to choose from. You may not have the option to do every available apprenticeship. It will depend on where you live, if there is an employer providing that trade or service in the area, and if there are training organisations around that can deliver the training. Remember, an apprenticeship involves work plus training, and it is legally binding contract between you and the employer. An apprenticeship also includes traineeships. Apprenticeships are competency-based, which means that you need to demonstrate that you can do certain roles and tasks from the training and experience that you undertake. In the past, you needed to spend a certain amount of time in each stage of your apprenticeship, and the spend of 4 years completing your qualification. Now you need to show that you can do it proficiency when you, your employer, and your training provider believe you are ready. It is much more flexible. In an apprenticeship, there are skill levels that you need to work through, and further you go, the more money you earn. You will need to do lots of practical work. As the training to progress, employers will expect more from you and you progress through the apprenticeship. Apprenticeships now vary in length from 3 to 4 years, depending on the subjects that you complete at school and other training that you've undertaken. You could complete your apprenticeship in a shorter period of time. If you decide that you don't want to continue in your apprenticeship, then there is a process that you need to follow, just like anyone else who is employed. You can just walk out. No, you can't.
No, you can't. It'd be nice, though. I reckon the students do want to just walk out, though. Do you think big changes in apprenticeship still?
If you decide that you do not want to continue your apprenticeship, there are a process that you need to follow, just like anyone else who is employed. You can't just walk out. A good starting point is to talk to your parents and your employer about these steps. If you feel that you're in a wrong apprenticeship and you wish to try another one, there are options available depending on the situation. For an example, if you are in a painting and want to move to, say, tiling apprenticeship, your employer may be able to accommodate this. There are more flexibilities. However, becoming a boilermaker may not be so easy, being a completely different industry sector. Yes, it all depends on things such as previous employment, if you have truly mastered the theory behind the apprenticeship, and if you are skilled in all the practical aspects. Sometimes it's not beneficial to finish too quickly, as you may miss vital knowledge and experiences from your qualified supervisor. To complete your apprenticeship, and training provider needs to show that you have completed all tasks to the industry standard with your employer's consent. Once you finish, you may be able to stay with your employer or look for maybe other opportunities. You could even travel the world with a recognised qualification behind you. Depending on the qualification, each apprenticeship is made up of various modules or units. Each module has an estimated completion time to use as a guide. There are many ways you can complete theory. You could attend training organisation to do your training in a class or workshop setting. Alternatively, the training organisation may visit you in the workplace and go through the workbook with you. Today's learning experience is very flexible, and you will find yourself enjoying a combination of classroom, online and on-the-job type of learning. Once you have decided which apprenticeship you really want to do, create your own action plan to help you be as successful as you can. Your school and an apprenticeship support network and a group training organisation can help you find apprenticeships. The best way is to use your networks. That is, people that you already know. Let them know what you want to do and ask them to keep an ear out for you. When you visit an employer, ask for an apprenticeship and make sure that you're dressed appropriately. Any contact with an employer is an informal interview. They are assessing you on interest, motivation, and what you know about the job. Presentation is important, as it is the first look an employer gets of you. Be dressed for the job that you want. This means that if you want to be a plumber, wear closed-in shoes. They won't be able to show you around the workplace if you're not wearing appropriate footwear, as it's a workplace health and safety risk. If you want to work in hospitality, don't visit during lunch hours, as you won't get to see anyone and you'll walk away a bit deflated. Also, find the best times to visit employees, i.e. tradies usually like to be addressed early in the mornings. If you have photos that you would like to show them, take them with you. Hairdressers would love to see the various hairstyles that you've done, and cabinet makers will like to see projects completed at home or at school. There is a large list of apprenticeships that are popular at the moment, and the majority fall within the National Skills Shortage list. There is a push for employers with these areas to put on an apprentice and government in creating many incentives to get this to happen. If you live rurally or regionally, there is an additional funding incentive for employers to consider putting on an apprentice too. The Australian Apprenticeship Support Network or group training organisations can help you with some questions on this that you may have. There is future projections that all apprenticeships on the National Skills Shortage list will be in demand. If you secure one now, you will have set yourself up nicely for a healthy career path. This term is widely used. Skills shortage means that right now there is not enough people with the technical skills who are working in that industry or are learning the trade in that industry. And then there is a high possibility that that trade is going to be in demand very soon. Many apprenticeships in the skill shortage area have additional funds linked to them to inspire employers to put you on. An apprenticeship gives you the chance to earn while you are learning. There is a shortage of skilled workers in some vocational and trade areas, meaning that if you choose to do an apprenticeship, you could be setting yourself up for a great salary, less chance of being unemployed, and the opportunity to travel and work around Australia. An apprenticeship is also good grounding for entry into continued study, as you will have gained grading mark to enter university. Your responsibilities as an apprentice are the same as anyone else who is working. Turn up to work on time, do the job, follow instructions, and ensure you abide by safety. And be mindful of your work colleagues. The only addition is that you agree to complete the training aspect. You will be monitored throughout your apprenticeship by the employer, training provider, group training organisation if applicable, and the Australian Apprenticeship Support Network. Your apprenticeship career path will evolve and change to meet your skill level as you progress. The further you go, the more you will be required to do. The first year is usually a lot of learning, observation and practical work. In the third and fourth year, you may have younger workers under you for you to instruct. In the final year, you may even be able to quote on jobs. The training component will be more difficult too, building on what you've learnt in your earlier years, similar to subjects that you studied at school. What you did in grade 8 metalwork would be a lot simpler than what is expected of you in the same subject in year 12. You need to get the basics to set the platform to build knowledge and skills.